Okay, it looks like it's 7:45, so we will go ahead and get started. This is the November meeting of the Joining Forces for Treasure Valley Veterans, and I welcome you all here. Today we are broadcasting from my dining room. Um, we did have an outbreak of COVID at our Boise Veterans Home, and we're dealing with that right now. We've got a lot of people working really hard, nurses, CNAs, and things to keep our veterans safe over there. They moved all the non-medical personnel out of the Boise home over into my office, and then any of us that could work from home are doing so currently. So I'm hoping to get back in the office very soon because that means that everybody's getting better and things are getting back to normal. So today we're just going to kind of do a roundtable, kind of like the old days of joining forces. And there were about a dozen of you that responded that wanted to introduce yourselves to the group and talk about your organization. And so we'll go down the list. We've had a few changes to the agenda that I sent out, but it looks like everybody's pretty much here. And everybody will have about 5 minutes or less just to introduce yourself and tell what's going on with your organization. And then we will move on to the next person. So it'll be a good introduction because we have so many new members, and there are people that are able to join the virtual meeting that aren't normally able to attend the in-person meetings. So it's a good mixture, and I'm happy to have you all here today. We are going to start out with Mark Heilman. He's with the Veterans Upward Bound program at Boise State University. And as far as I'm concerned, he's got a little good news for us, but he's got a lot of bad news as far as I'm concerned. Go ahead, Mark.
Hey, thanks, Mitzi. Hey, good morning, everybody. I asked Mitzi if I could just have a few minutes this morning to begin with, so some of you already know this, but I'm retiring the end of December, and I wanted to let folks know that my position is posted at BSU and on the BSU website, and we're recruiting for a new director, and I wanted to just talk a little bit about the program. It's we're a U.S. Department of Education federal grant program, and the grants we renew them every 5 years, and the next grant will be due in 2022, and we'll start in 23. And we're in the middle of a 5-year grant now, and it's a small program that operates from Twin Falls to Ontario, and we help vets get ready to go to any school they want to go to and help them get through the enrollment and admission and figure out all the JBL stuff and all the benefits and try to get them to enroll with care at the VA and just make sure they get what they need and do a lot of academic brush up work. That's mostly what we do. A lot of math and writing skills and a lot of those kind of things. So it's a great program. I have a great boss. Greg Martinez is just an incredible guy. He's just upstanding, and he's just been a wonderful boss. And I can't say enough about him. And so it's a good program to work with, and it's fun to work with vets, as you know, and it's been a gift for me. I've been working with vets for 40 years, so it's been quite a ride. But time for me to move on. My friend John tells me I'm getting old. It's time to move over and let the young guys take over. So I'm going to move on to something else. I got my Grandpa Cup this morning, and my first grandbaby was born in September. Got a baby grandgirl, and I can't wait to spend more time with her, and I want to be part of her life and hopefully be of some help and the kids and her, and plan to do some of that. Even though they live up by Toronto, so it's a hell of a commute. So it's tough to get up into the country, and we went up there this September, but we had to quarantine 2 weeks before we could see the baby, and so that was tough. We just had to sit in that apartment for 2 weeks and isolate. But so I'm going to retire, and it'll be the end of December. But hopefully we'll get some folks interested in want to run the program, and it's three. We're small. We have 3 staff. We have a couple of contract teachers beyond that, and we just really try to just find out what vets need and make sure they get it. And we some vets we work a day with and some a year, and it's either one's fine with us. Whatever we need to do to help somebody get ready to go back to school. I'm really passionate about education. I grew up very poor in the middle of nowhere on a farm, and my brothers and I all went to service and got the GI Bill. There's no way we could have went to school otherwise, and so it was a gift to us, and always very thankful that I was able to make that choice and made it, and went to service and got the GI Bill. So we all went to school, and I just feel like education is life changing and generationally, and provides people a lot of opportunities. And what they do with it, it's up to them, but they got opportunities, and I'm real passionate about that. So this has been a good fit for me. I think it's fantastic to see the vets take advantage of this incredible GI Bill. A lot better than we had 50 years ago, that's for sure. But it's I'm glad to see it, and I'm glad to see vets taking advantage of it. There's a lot of vets on campuses, and so it's our chance to help them make that a successful transition, and that's a big deal. So we're I'm going to move on and do other things, and I've got a room full of guitars and motorcycle helmets. I plan to do more music and writing, and that's what I'm going to try to do. My wife has said this COVID's got to end because I got to stop buying guitars. So I got to end pretty soon, or I'll be in real trouble. I'm running out of room, so I got to stop.
Definitely have big shoes to fill over there in your program. And Mark was one of the original members of Joining Forces when it formed 11 years ago, and he's been a huge supporter. And you know, he is passionate about education, but he's passionate about vets and making them successful and things too. And I'm going to miss you a lot.
This is great. I hope to get on at least a couple more months. Hope to introduce the new director at some point. And but this group is a real. I talk to other programs around the country. We have 62 of our programs around the country, and there's really not anything like this in any other location. I tried to explain what we do, and I told other directors, start one. Just go talk to your chief of police and your vets and VA and start one. It's an group, and we started to help vets in the Vet Corps program. That was our original purpose, but we really have expanded. This group has become really a place where everybody can go to get information and help. And so it's turned into something pretty amazing, and it's been fun to be part of that. And so I also just want to see if anybody had any questions about the position, or if I can any help I can give people. Give me a call or shoot me an email, and be glad to share what I can and let you know what we do more, or answer some questions you might have about the job. We're looking for a vet to fill the job, and hopefully, and the staff is they're very involved in the vet stuff. Fran's dad was a POW in World War II, and Anita's dad was a Silver Star winner and multiple Marines, Army, career military, and so they're really connected to the vet population. Fran's husband was a career Air Force, and so they're very connected to that and passionate about it as well. So it's a vet friendly place, I think, hopefully, and they got us in a house on campus that is very relaxing, and people enjoy coming just to have a cup of coffee and studying for a while. So hopefully we get a lot of folks interested, and we'll get somebody that can take it from here. I'm hoping that they can hire somebody younger that knows something about social media. I have a world of that stuff, and they need somebody that can do it. So they need somebody much more in touch with that stuff than me. That's going to be the future, and they need somebody to do that. So
I'll be sure to.
So if you got any questions, let me know. Thanks, Mitzi. I appreciate letting me share some things and let people know, and hopefully let your if you know vets that might be interested, let them know that we're doing it, that this position's open. I think it might close Sunday. I think Greg's going to see if he can extend it. I'm not even sure, but I don't know what
I'll send the link out in the meeting recap so that everybody has that. So thanks a lot, Mark. We appreciate your service.
Hey, thank you. Take care, guys.
Okay, next we have, I'm not sure if Dan Ashley made it on, but I know Christina Pollock from the Boise Vet Center is on, and she's only got a couple minutes here before she has another appointment. Christina?
Yeah, hi everybody. Mark, congratulations on retirement. We love you, man.
Thank you.
So what's going on over at the Boise Vet Center?
Well, even with COVID, we're still pretty busy over here. Like many of you guys know, we see We see veterans who deployed to any kind of hostile combat, really kind of anywhere. If you have any question on the eligibility, just come in because you never know. We also see MST, military sexual trauma. So that could be any range. That doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how mild, how severe, we'll see you. Really, our job is to get you qualified, not disqualified. So even if you're, you have a veteran who's in crisis, who's peacetime, and you don't think they qualify, please have them come down. We'll figure it out and we'll get them to the best resources possible. We were able, so Congress, good old Congress, they passed a bill for us to expand our eligibility to Coast Guard. So if not just Coast Guard, but Coast Guard who participated in any drug-related seeking, anything off the coast of Florida, Cuba, anything over there. So we've expanded to that part of the Coast Guard. And then this really goes to our Guard or Reserve, so any natural disasters. So Katrina, I know a lot of our Guard men and women were activated over to DC for the riots. Anything like that. So we've also expanded to those kind of situations that are more local. And then of course our bereavement services. We have been seeing, I know that technically our eligibility is for active duty. So any personnel who passed away on active duty, but we have been seeing families who've lost veterans to suicide because really our idea is not to turn anybody away, especially if you're struggling, and we'll figure it out. So if you guys have anybody who needs to come in, just have them call us, come in, we'll figure it out. We have moved to a pretty 90% virtual platform just because of COVID, but we have been seeing some people face-to-face just depending on the level of crisis, level of severity kind of thing. So short and sweet, but most of you guys know us.
Well, and the Boise Vet Center is one of the first places to send people because, again, like she said, they do accept both active duty and veterans. And then I think the great thing is you guys see family members also if necessary. And we all know that there's residual effects when somebody deploys or when the veteran's having problems at home. And so if Christina can't help somebody at the vet center, like she said, she will refer them out somewhere, but it's a really good starting place to start, especially if somebody's hesitant to go to the VA. It's a very non-threatening environment over there. I appreciate everything you guys do over there, Christina.
Thank you. Yeah, and one of the residuals, unfortunately, of COVID has been a lot of couples therapy. So we have a lot of staff who are qualified to work with couples. Most everybody is. So we've seen a lot of couples come in, and that doesn't have to relate to service. That can, that can relate to anything. We'll work with you.
Great. Well, thank you for joining us this morning, and I'm sure we'll be seeing Dan around the valley in his big mobile unit. I know he has several events planned coming up here, so.
Yes, thank you guys.
Okay. Let's see, next on the agenda I have Tiffany Foley. Are you here with us, Tiffany? I'm not sure I saw you sign in. Oh, there you are.
Hi, good morning, everybody. I'm here.
Yeah. Oh, go ahead. Tiffany is the new suicide prevention coordinator at the VA. She is filling very big shoes of Mary Pierce, who most of us know. Mary has not left the VA. She is doing telehealth and still very actively involved with joining forces. So welcome, Tiffany.
Thank you, Mitzi. Yeah, so just like Mitzi said, I'm going to be taking over Mary's suicide prevention coordinator position. It's official as of next week. So definitely big shoes to fill. She's been in the program about 11 years, I think. And so has just done an amazing job. And I think we were all a bit shocked when she decided to make this change. But, you know, COVID has changed a lot for us, right? So we're just sort of rolling with the punches, and she's helping me to figure out what's what and get my feet a bit grounded. So we've got some exciting things we're working on. One of them is safety planning in the emergency department, and getting some of our medical staff on board with that when a veteran, you know, with high risk for suicide presents to the emergency department, making sure that, you know, that we've got things lined up for that person, and that they're not falling through the cracks. So that's a good initiative we're focusing on right now. We are also doing some telework. So seeing a lot of veterans through video, and we're starting back up on our Reasons for Life group that had been going on. That was paused for a little bit because of COVID, but that's going to be starting back up next week as well. And I'm trying to think what else. I think that's it. I'll still have the same extension that Mary's had, 7517. So that contact will stay the same, and I'll be official next week. So hoping to join these meetings regularly going forward. Thank you.
Well, thank you for joining us, and I look forward to getting to know you better. Very important work that you're doing over there, and you've got a great staff, and I've attended some of your programs that Mary's had over the years, and I look forward to you guys doing that some more. Absolutely. Yep. Sounds good. Okay. Our next guest is Carrie Barbero. She is with the Boise VA Medical Center, and she's a counselor and a program coordinator over there, and she'll tell us more about what she does. Carrie?
Thank you, and congratulations, Mark. I have been at the VA since 2001 as a student, and then hired in 2002. My position is a little bit newer in that I'm the violence prevention coordinator. I work with community police as well as the VA police, and lead a couple of multidisciplinary teams at the VA doing violence risk assessments and threat assessments on both employees at the VA and veterans. What I really want to talk about today is the intimate partner violence program that is very new within the VA. We have 7 clinicians trained in an evidence-based treatment called Strength at Home, and we can provide 12 weeks of treatment, 2 hours a week, to veterans who are using violence in intimate partner violence situations. So referrals from our VJOs and referrals from you all can be taken at any time. I can send you a flyer, Mitzi, with my phone number on it, so folks have a way of contacting us. We don't necessarily provide court-ordered treatment, but certainly we would report back to the courts if the veteran signed a release of information to fulfill any kind of treatment requirements. So if anybody has any questions, you can email me or ask now.
And that's any intimate partner, both men, women, women, men,
Yep.
married, just
Yep.
in a relationship.
Yeah,
like
folks. I mean, it can happen one time. It can happen. Intimate partner violence can happen over, a long period of time. Folks don't have to be living together. Both heterosexual, same-sexual relationships, the veteran would be our primary patient, but certainly the partner would be involved in that treatment as well.
And is that just physical violence, or does that also include verbal abuse?
Absolutely.
That could be just as bad
stalking,
sometimes.
any kind of physical or verbal aggression, psychological abuse. Absolutely.
Well, great. That's a great program to have, because a lot of times the violence comes hand in hand with some of the other issues that the veterans are dealing with, and it's nice that you have a program to focus specifically on that.
Yeah, the VHA has done a beautiful job with training in terms of just making sure that this is a very veteran-centric program. So even just using the type of language like veterans using violence instead of perpetrator or abuser, so that folks can feel less stigmatized, and this is really taking into consideration what military life is like, what families are like, PTSD, TBI, some of the challenges that our population faces.
That's great. Okay, I'll include Carrie's information when I do the meeting recap. And you did say that you can take referrals directly from anyone, any
Yep.
group.
Yep.
Okay, sounds great. Thank you, Carrie. I appreciate you joining us this morning. Okay, now we have Beth Adams. She's the communications coordinator for the Idaho National Guard Family Programs. And we are happy to have you join us today, Beth. You're new to your position, but I must say you're doing one heck of a job. I'm seeing a lot more information out there about the family programs, and you guys have a new Facebook page or group for your people out there, and you're just doing a great job.
Thank you. It's been a lot of fun. It's a great group to work with. I'm sure you guys have all met because I see a lot of our people in the programs here online, and then Jenna is going to talk to you guys too just right after me. So I'll keep it brief because I mainly do communications and outreach for all of our programs over the Guard unit. And so we're kind of figuring out a way right now to kind of encompass more people within our labeling. So it's been called family programs in the past, and now we're kind of turning toward service member and family support programs because we do a lot with the service members in any branch in any state. So, or obviously in Idaho, but I mean, as far as reserves or guard or active duty, they're all able to come to our building. And then if for whatever reason their case or what they need is outside of our realm, we have other referral resources too. So we're able to do that. But yeah, my position is kind of going to be to make community relationships, make sure that we know what's available to everybody, and we're just have good communication within the community and our programs. And that's something that we're really excited to work on right now is streamlining and making our program as easily accessible to as many people as we can. So that's been really fun. That's kind of the effort with our Facebook page. We're hoping to get a public page in the future. For right now, it is a private group, but if any of you want to join, I can post in the chat a link to join our group. And some people have posted on there from outside of our programs and with opportunities they've had. And so I welcome you to do that. I have to approve the posts first. So we're trying to keep it informational for right now, just things going on that impact veterans, service members, and their families. So yeah, and I will let Jenna talk more about her program, but we also have a lot of different kinds of programs within family programs. So I think sometimes you think just of soldier and family readiness. They do a lot of referral, and they do kind of connect people with the things that they need. There's a Military One Source in our building, child and youth programs that's very busy keeping programs alive for children to be able to do some things even throughout coronavirus. And we've got a personal finance counselor, so she can, for free, help people to do, figure out their taxes, any kind of things like that. So transition assistance, all of that. So I welcome you guys all to join our Facebook page. We have a lot more information on there. And I look forward to being on these meetings too and getting to know everyone here. So thank you for letting me talk today.
Thanks for being here, Beth. And I think that the family programs runs into the same issue all of our groups have, is just making people aware that you're there to help and the services that you have. And you guys do a great job out there. If the service members will just step forward and ask for help or, seek assistance and things, you guys really cover the bases from A to Z on.
Yeah, and it's a group of really nice, so you can always just walk right into the building and someone will be there to welcome you and help you out. So.
Well, it looks like we lost Mitzi quickly, but I'm Jenna Turner. I'm up after Beth. So thanks, Beth, for that introduction. Can you all hear me? Just want to make sure. I'm just talking. Good. Okay. So really quick, Mark, congratulations on your bigger and better things. I always have to give a big shout out to Veterans Upward Bound because I am a product of Veterans Upward Bound. So it's an awesome program, and I encourage anyone who is thinking about furthering their education to check them out when it comes to helping with that. So many of you know me as in my prior position, I was the suicide prevention program manager for the Idaho Army National Guard up until September when I have moved over to Beyond the Yellow Ribbon Counseling Services. But just want to let you know, we do have our new prevention coordinator who is here. Just gonna say hi really quick. Hi. And then our new suicide prevention coordinator who has taken my place. Right back here saying hi, and you'll probably get to know them in the future. So there's been a little bit of shakeup when it comes to the ASAP program, suicide prevention, as well as the alcohol and drug control officer for the Idaho Army National Guard. So let me tell you a little bit about Beyond the Yellow Ribbon Counseling Service. It is a program that we are now just beginning our second year. It is a federally funded program. And we are so fortunate to be able to see pretty much anyone who has a military affiliation. That means active duty service members, their spouses, reservists, National Guards people, retirees, kids. If there is any type of military affiliation, we can see them for counseling and case management services. And Mickey's back. Hey. So I just jumped in, and I'm, if that's okay.
That's what's great about this group is we
Right?
just join forces and get it done.
So there's a bunch of different services that Beyond the Yellow Ribbon offers. We are out at Gowan Field, but we are able to travel to wherever is comfortable for our clients. So I have an office space out in Caldwell, the Caldwell Veterans Memorial Hall, where I see clients out there, as well as we have a counselor that sees the northern half of the state and is able to travel up to Lewiston, Coeur d'Alene, Moscow, all those great places, as well as I cover the south and east part of the state. So as long as we have a client in the state of Idaho, we can see. We have a case manager who's fantastic, who if we have a service member or anyone that we're able to see that has a need, we will figure out how to meet that need, either with our program or referring out. So again, Beyond the Ribbon Counseling Service is available to anyone with a military affiliation. And while I know Mitzi has sent out our flyer before, I'll go ahead and make sure she has that to disseminate to everyone. If you have questions about eligibility, just let us know. We'll answer your questions. So we do have some upcoming projects. Our case manager is doing an ongoing anger and stress management class. I can make sure that flyer is made available, and that's available to pretty much anyone, as well as Beyond the Yellow Ribbon has partnered with One More Day. I'm not sure if everyone is familiar with this. It's Dave Conley out of the American Legion. He started a veteran suicide prevention. He's been on here once or twice before, but he started a suicide prevention program that involves volunteers intervening on the behalf of service members in the event of crisis. So much more about it, but it's an awesome program, and we have actually partnered to start doing a military family and peer support group. And again, this is open to anyone who has military affiliation. It's going to be every Tuesday evening starting on the 24th of November out at the Caldwell Veterans Memorial Hall from 6:30 to 8. And this is available to anyone with military affiliation, regardless of discharge, etc. Again, I will get these flyers to Mitzi, and if you have any questions, just please reach out. Other than that, yeah, we're excited to start in our second year. We now have 3 clinicians working full-time, as well as a part-time clinician. So we are needing more people. We've got the openings, we've got the space, and we want to help our community. So thank you, Mitzi, for this opportunity.
Thanks, Jenna. We're glad to see you over there. Question, and you may have already hit on this. Is there a cost for Beyond the Yellow Ribbon?
No, there is not. It is absolutely free, again, because it's a federal grant. So we have a lot more liberties. We're not limited with the amount of sessions. It all is dependent upon the progress of the person and their needs.
That's
So,
great.
the big thing is that's one of the gaps we're trying to address, is the fact that a lot of our National Guard service members don't have mental health coverage, and a lot of people just don't in general. So that is a gap that we're trying to fill, is that ability to see those without
That's
that.
great. Well, and I've mentioned this before, it's no secret. I have attended counseling for many years, and you know, each month I'm like, oh, you know, I'm fine this month, I don't need to go. But I always go, and you know, it's just like taking a nice warm shower. It just kind of washes the dust off and kind of gets you back on track. And so, you know, I encourage everyone to, you know, especially if you're going through something, to seek out counseling and then maintain that. Our mental health is as important as our physical health, and to keep us healthy, we need to exercise our mental health and you know, keep in shape just like our physical health.
Absolutely. And that's part of the normalization that you're right there in the midst, is the fact that you don't have to be in crisis or have a huge problem in order to have therapy or see a counselor. It's a good preventive measure. It's a good way to figure out, you know, where you are in life right now, especially if it's relationship. And it's a safe space with, you know, confidentiality. So, yeah.
That's great. Okay, thanks for joining us. Okay, next we have Rebecca Sprague. She's with Central District Health. She's been with our group for quite some time. She's at a fairly new position at Central District Health now. She is the grant manager for the Partnerships for Success grant. And do you want to tell us more about that, Becca?
Yeah, good morning. Thanks for having me. It's good to see you all again.
We can't quite hear you. I mean, we can hear you a little tiny bit.
Got any better?
It's not.
Okay, let me get a microphone.
Okay, I tell you what, we will skip to the next person, and we'll come back to Becca here in a minute. Ken and Betty Rogers, we know them from Bravo, and they have a new movie that they are working on, and they've been working on it for several years now, and it's nearing the finish line, and we're excited to hear about that. Ken, Betty?
Thank you, Mitzi, and good morning, everyone. And again, another congratulations to you, Mark. Very exciting times ahead with your granddaughter and so forth. Also, it's just so inspiring to attend these meetings and see everything that's going on for veterans in our community. There is nothing else like it. So while we've just commemorated Veterans Day, we can now turn our thoughts to those who awaited their veterans' return. For many wives, the homecoming was just the beginning of a very different life, a life of caregiving, a life of trying to understand and adapt to the incomprehensible change in their loved one. And so I'm very happy to say that we're very close to finishing a film that tells their stories, gives voice to this unheralded segment of our population in a movie titled I Married the War. And soon I hope you will all help us bring their stories to a wide audience. We aren't yet sure how we'll premiere the film. Many of you remember the premiere of Bravo at the Egyptian Theater, a smashing success because it was hosted by a dynamic Joining Forces team as a benefit for the Ada County Veterans Court, Treatment Court, and the Idaho Veterans Network. Since we won't be able to do something like that again for I Married the War, after the meeting, I would love to get your input on how we might do a virtual premiere. because we really need to get this story out to the world where it can help people, and let the wives and other caregivers know that they aren't alone, and just give an example of how these, there are 4 local Idaho women in the film. There are 11 wives total, and they're all from the World War II period right on up to the present conflicts. So we're just, we know there's a way to make it happen, and we would love for any ideas that you might share with us. So thank you, everyone.
What do you think your timeline's looking at, like, to?
Probably the first of the year.
Great. That really is coming up quick.
Yep.
That's close. Hey, just a quick plug too, that, you know, the Bravo movie was so powerful, and when that Egyptian theater time, I got to take one of my daughters to that. I wanted to see, kind of get a feel for the kind of men and women I've been working with and serving for all those years, and what kind of honor there is. And that movie was very powerful, and I was so glad that she got to see that with me, and we were able to see it together. And I'm going to also put a plug in again to hopefully to have Ken publish those darn blogs he does. It's incredible what he writes. I've saved almost all of them from Bravo. He's so able to express things other people can't, and give voice to people. And I hope that finds a way to put that together in a booklet or something so people can see it. It's amazing what he writes and how well he does. So Ken, hope you do that. So I can't wait for the movie. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Mark.
November is National Family Caregiver Awareness Month, and I think sometimes people think a caregiver is like a nurse, somebody that, you know, is standing by somebody's bedside and you know, doing all that, and that is a lot of it for a lot of people. But a lot of time, caregiving is much simpler, and or simpler on the outside, I should say. You know, caring for our loved ones, making sure they get to appointments, that they do take their medication, that they just are able to live their life at home. And there are so many caregivers in this group, in you know, our community. I think a lot of people don't realize that a lot of people you talk to every day are caregivers, and it's a big responsibility and can be very stressful.
Mitzi, there's a RAND report or a study that they did, and they've determined there are over 5.5 million caregivers nationwide.
Wow.
That includes wives, parents, you know, other siblings who are caring for that. This is military related caregivers.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
5.5 million.
Wow. Well, thank you for spotlighting those that married the war and are caregivers to their veterans after they've come home. So thank you. Okay, Becca, we'll move back to you again. Rebecca Sprague is with Central District Health. She's the grant manager for the Partnerships for Success grant. And do you want to tell us more about that? Oh, still can't hear you. You want to try shouting at us?
I've got a microphone. Can you hear me at all?
That's better. That's much better.
Okay, I'll just hold it really close to my mouth. You would think
That's
after
good.
this many months, all the tech kinks would be worked out, but not. They're not at all. Thanks so much for having me today. So I have met some of you in person at the meetings that we used to attend so long ago when I was working for our state suicide prevention program. And I've since moved over to Central District Health and managing the Partnerships for Success program, which is a grant that is administered through the Office of Drug Policy. We focus on underage drinking prevention and then substance misuse among veterans and families of veterans, specifically looking at methamphetamine and prescription stimulants. I'm here today because, of course, as a health department, we don't necessarily offer direct service, but I'd love to learn how to collaborate with some of you. But two of the projects I am working on right now, and I'll send the flyers, are distributing lock boxes for prescription drugs, as well as drug deactivation pouches. And that's a collaborative program with our suicide prevention program and drug overdose prevention program at CDH. And those are really handy to have in the house, of course, in terms of substance misuse, suicidality, things like that, keeping stuff safe from littles. And then the other project I'm working on is working on implementing an evidence-based family and parenting program within our district. So if there are any of you on the call today who work with families or do any sort of parenting class, would be interested, we are able to financially support that implementation. It's called Positive Actions, and it works for kiddos all the way down to 6, all the way up through high school with their parents. And I'll send a flyer about that as well. So we're hoping to get some military and veteran families involved in that implementation.
That's great. It's nice to have those resources because a lot of times our organizations want to do programs, but there isn't the funding and things. And it's nice to know that you're out there to help us get those programs up and running.
Yeah, thank you. We do offer sub-grants as well. Of course, this fiscal year is pretty much spoken for, but next year when we're doing a grant solicitation, I'll certainly come back to the group and let people know what funding it might be available for helping with agencies in the community.
That's great. And when does your fiscal year start?
So we work on the state fiscal year.
Okay, so July.
Yeah, June to, yeah, exactly.
Or June to July, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sounds great.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for joining us. I'm glad we could hear you.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, Barb Lewis. We know her from LeapFox Learning. LeapFox has changed its name and it is now New Horizons Boise. And Barb is the Director of Operations over there. And we're happy to have you here, Barb.
Okay, well, I first off want to, hope everyone can hear me, want to tell Mark congrats. I know we keep going back to that, but the first time I ever came to Joining Forces, Mark was the first one to meet me. And I appreciated his welcome and that. And I'm also wanted Betty to know I'm excited about this movie. Okay, for LeapFox Learning, which is now New Horizons Boise, we do computer training. And we are also GI. We take GI bills, and it's an interesting change over the year because we now can do virtual classes for these guys. We had to get the approval. Congress gave that approval for us to start doing that. So sometimes we do have those in virtual training, but we also have the live classes still running. We've been open the entire time. Governor Little deemed us as essential because we do a lot of work with the Department of Labor, veterans, and others that they just needed to continue getting their computer training. So what happens with our jobs, with our training, is a lot of times the guys come in, they've just been released from duty, and they want a job, or they get a job, but they don't have the computer training to go with it. They don't have the industry certifications. So we do a lot of classes with them for their industry certifications so that they can continue in the job that they are in. Another thing we do is we work with 3 different companies that one of those companies has over 200 DoD contracts, that they're always looking for veterans that have had their security clearances still there or can pass the security clearance, but yet they still need those industry certifications. So we run a lot of computer boot camp classes for the CompTIA Security Plus. And those tend to run monthly. And again, they're either virtual, they can either come in virtual or they can come in live. We have a lot less in the live classes because we have to space them 6 feet apart and that kind of stuff. But it works. We love to help them continue their education and what fits their needs. We do have a lot of programs that I sit down with them. I am also the education vet counselor. And so I meet with them. I figure out what do they need, what are they lacking, what can we get done with them so that they can be productive in society and helping their families with their jobs, that kind of stuff. The other thing we also offer is spouses of veterans. We scholarship them in all of our classes. They don't have to pay for it. We let them come through and scholarship that way, because the guys or gals are already using their GI Bill. We don't want to put any more stress on the family. So we do offer those classes for free to the spouses. On that, with the spouses, they don't have to stick to just the veteran approved classes. They can go into an Excel class or a Word class or PowerPoint, Outlook, any of those things, that if they have a job that they need some type of training to upgrade their skills at work, then we can just put their class in there for them. I'm trying to think what else. I've got notes from everybody else's putting. I love Mitzi sending me this stuff because we have the bulletin board, plus we have an email list, because right now I have 27 veterans in classes. And so I can just shoot out a blast and say, oh, something that Mitzi has sent out to us, I can send it straight to them. And I know some of them have connected up with you guys. And so I love this community that we can help be supportive to anybody who needs anything. So thank you. That's pretty much I have.
Well, and that's good information. I didn't know about the spouses being able to attend if the veteran is enrolled in your program. So that is very helpful.
Yeah. And in fact, their spouse doesn't need to be enrolled in the program either. We'll just, if you come in and you're a spouse of a veteran, that's all we need. We just need proof that your husband or wife is a veteran, and then we can scholarship them and give them the training that they need also.
Well, that's even better news.
Yeah.
That's good to hear. So, well, great. You're doing a great job over there, Barb. I know you've brought the program leaps and bounds from where it started when I first met you guys over there, and appreciate everything that you do.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it.
And, what Barb mentioned was a good reminder is if you have information, get it over to me. You can tell how busy I am at my desk, how soon your information gets out. Sometimes it goes out within minutes of receiving it, and sometimes it's a few days, but I do get all the information out there, and we've got almost 500 people on the email list now. And so that's at least 500 people that your message is reaching. And I know that all of you forward those to at least one other person. So, it just grows by leaps and bounds from there. So thank you. Okay, now we have Mindy Anderson. She's with the Idaho Veterans Chamber of Commerce. She has just recently got a chapter started here in Idaho, and it is also growing. Do you want to tell us more about that, Mindy?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much for the opportunity this morning, Mitzi. So currently we have our survey out. We've been putting that out on social media, and then Mitzi sent it out too as well to just collect data, doing some market research, essentially figuring out where the gaps are, figuring out where the collaboration points are, and just also looking for others to join our core services. So we're continuing to have one-to-one meetings with different people that are interested in learning more about how to collaborate with the Idaho Veterans Chamber of Commerce. And so just as an overview, a quick overview of what our mission will be is to create collaboration space between a lot of what I'm hearing today, and just having some collaboration space in between the civilian communities, the veteran service organizations, the military connected members, and also their spouses, to come to us and then be able to reach out to our different core services and see what are the best resources that would help this member in whatever it is that they need. So we have 5 core services, that is education, workforce transition, veteranpreneur, family and wellness, and then housing for heroes, which can range in a lot of different things. So we have had some meetings over the last couple of weeks with the Idaho Department of Commerce, with the Veteran Entrepreneur Alliance, with the Workforce Development Council, that is an arm to the governor, and then also with our Veteran Business Owner Center that's in the Pacific Northwest, to just talk about how we can support some of these initiatives to then be able to create some more collaboration. So our goal is over the next couple of months is to really put our core team members together, and then hopefully we can start having our monthly meetings for the general population or anybody that wants to attend and receive updates on the different core services that we're supporting on a monthly basis. Probably around February, I would say, is kind of what we're projecting right now. So a lot of work is being done, and I just want to reiterate that the Veterans Chamber of Commerce is not a organization that wants to duplicate any of the awesome services and the amazing resources that are already out there. We just want to try to create some space to fill the gaps in connecting different resources. So I know Mitzi does a really great job with that, with the email, and so we'll continue to try to maximize and help out in any way we can with that. And also, Beth Adams, it's timely that you're on here this morning because General Donnellan, we were at an event yesterday, worked closely with him in the Air National Guard, and he had mentioned that I reach out to you. So I'll be connecting with you very soon, and hopefully we can help support each other with those community collaborations that are much needed. So any questions?
Well, and, I tell people, Mindy mentioned, she's not trying to duplicate services. Every time a new group pops up, sometimes somebody will say, well, we're already doing that, or that's similar to what we're doing. And I say the more the merrier, because it comes down to personalities a lot of times too. A veteran or a group may work better with one organization better than another. And our goal, all of us, is to help the veterans in our community. And if one organization can't help a particular veteran, there is an organization out there. I mean, I truly believe that there is help for every veteran in our community. They just need to find the right group and things. So there's never a duplication of services. There's just always more services out there. Okay, thanks for joining us, Mindy. We had Becky Bristol from the Boise Police Department on our schedule today. She's feeling under the weather, so she's not going to join us, but I will mention that the Boise Police Department, about twice a year, they've always had a crisis intervention training for officers that were in specialty units that had a lot of contact with the public, not just patrol officers, but it's a 40-hour class that deals with individuals in crisis, and they usually have a 3 to 4 hour block on veterans in crisis. And now they, with the new chief over there, Ryan Lee, he is having every single officer in the department go through this training. So right now they're trying to get everybody through by March. So they're having these 40-hour trainings once a month. And I go over along with Danny Pugmire, and we do a segment on joining forces, talk about all of you. I've got, a list up on the screen of all the organizations to let the officers know that there is help for veterans out there in crisis, and not I try to emphasize not just the ones in crisis. If they run across a veteran in any aspect of their job, to let them know that we're out there in all the various organizations and things. So I'm excited that they're doing that. Sarah Kearney and Amanda Pentland from the VA do a segment in that program also, and things. So that's just something that the Boise Police Department's doing, which is very exciting. So let's see, Tina Day, are you with us? I didn't see you log on. Tina may be catching up from yesterday. Guardian Paw Service Dogs, along with Treasure Valley Subaru, did a big barbecue over in Nampa yesterday for veterans and things. And Tina was a huge part of that. So she may be catching up on some sleep this morning. So added to our itinerary from Senator Crapo's office, we have Courtney Lehosett, and she asked to, oh, Mark, you have a question right quick?
Yeah, Mitzi, I've got to sign off. You know, I got to run to a doc's appointment, but I just wanted to tell everybody have a great Thanksgiving and you know, enjoy, stay safe, and we'll see you next month. And thanks again for letting me invite people to look at my job and somebody take it over. So anyway, have a great weekend and a nice Thanksgiving, and appreciate all of you. Take care, and we'll see you next month.
Thanks, Mark. Okay.
Take care, Mark.
Okay, Courtney Lehosett from Senator Crapo's office wanted to join us this morning.
Hi, thank you so much. It's nice to be here and to see all of your guys' smiling faces. I wear a couple hats here in the Senator's Boise office, but one of my favorite job responsibilities is helping the Senator administer the annual Spirit of Freedom Awards. The Spirit, for those of you who might not be familiar, the Spirit of Freedom Awards started in 2002, and they aim to recognize our veterans across the Gem State, as well as the volunteers who serve our veterans. To date, we have honored and awarded 334 recipients. This year specifically, we honored 22 across the state. And it's my pleasure to award Mitzi a Spirit of Freedom Award. So I have a certificate here signed by the boss, as well as a pre-flown American flag. And if it's okay, I'll just read her bio. I know we know how amazing Mitzi is. I have to admit, when reading her bio, there was a handful of things that I was not aware that she did, but of course. So without further ado, the Veterans of Foreign Wars Post 4000 of Meridian nominated Mitzi, who is considered to be a vital asset to the veteran community with her dedication, valuable resources, and guidance for veterans and families. Tammy Clement of VFW Post 4000 wrote, "Mitzi is a true inspiration, and her continued dedication to helping and serving veterans is phenomenal. Her career has included employment as an elementary school secretary, owner and operator of a family business, and a newspaper reporter. She worked at the Ada County Sheriff's Office and the Boise Police Department before furthering her passion to serve veterans by taking a position with the Idaho Division of Veteran Services in 2018. Mitzi has also been involved with the broader community efforts. She served as a city council member for the city of Kimberly from 2010 to 2012. Mitzi conveyed that she feels enjoyment when she is making a difference and is able to connect individuals with contacts and resources." So again, congratulations, Mitzi. You're amazing. We all know it. On behalf of the Senator and our office, keep up the great work.
Yay, Mitzi.
Thank you very much.
Yes,
I don't usually cry at a Joining Forces meeting, so thank you very much. You know, I've attended the ceremonies that you've had. It's usually on Veterans Day around the state, and there are so many wonderful people that have been honored, and you just don't know how much this means to me to be included with that group of people. And thank you, Tammy, for nominating me from the Meridian Post over there at the VFW. It just it means a lot, and I wish that my parents could have attended a ceremony and things, but the next best thing is to have my Joining Forces family here. And you know, when you asked to be added to the agenda, that was the furthest thing from my mind.
Well, congratulations again.
Well, thank you very much. So,
Yes.
Okay. Let's see, does anybody else that has joined us have anything that they would like to add? We've still got just a little bit of time here, and we've got quite a few people on the call today.
Mitzi?
I can add a little bit, just some updates about the Veterans Treatment Court.
Okay, Tammy, did you want to say something right quick, and then Mike will go to you.
I would, just a few minutes, and it was from the Veterans of Foreign War, the commander of my post, and I'm speaking for all the members of my post. We really appreciate you, and you are a vital asset. It was amazing to me to get to know you and interview you, and your story and your life is just amazing, amazing. We appreciate you so much, and thank you for all that you do with, you know, the veterans and the families and everything. You are a true inspiration, and looking forward to working with you much more. So
thank you very much. I appreciate that. Okay, Mike, what's going on over at the Ada County Veterans Court?
Well, I just want to dovetail a little bit on what Tammy said. We're all very proud of you. Thank you for all the work you've done and the continuing things that you do for our veterans. We appreciate you so much.
Thank you. It's
I wish there was more we could do.
It's definitely a joint force that has brought this all together, and I couldn't do it without all of you. So thank you. What's going on over at the Veterans Court?
Well, couple shout outs. Paul, happy belated birthday. I think you just had a birthday, right?
I did. How did you know?
Special Forces, man, you know.
The big 5-0. The big 5-0.
And a shout out to my buddy Gary over there. I haven't seen him in a while. How you doing, bud? Excellent. So over here at the Veterans Treatment Court, you know, with the COVID-19 virus going around, it has presented its challenges. One of the biggest problems that we have is, and it's something that's endemic with all of our veterans, particularly now, is the social isolation that we're all going through. And we're not able to interact with each other as we did previously. So that actually is a big challenge for us to try to overcome. As far as mentors go, we're brimming at the seams. We have plenty of veterans that are volunteering inside and outside of the treatment court. I've got a lot of people from the American Legion, the VFW, several Vietnam veterans have stepped up outside of participants in the Veterans Treatment Court. But we are having, you know, we have some spare room. And the problem is getting the participants that we need screened and out of the jail. Because of COVID, things have slowed down massively. And as a matter of fact, a lot of our veterans, I would say 2 out of 3 that we have gotten out of incarceration, they have had COVID-19 actively working in their bodies. We have to put them into immediate isolation, and that's a big problem with all of our veterans, because I would say about 1/3 of them already, the ones that are participating with us, they have COVID now, and we have to isolate them. So it's been a big challenge. My job duties here, and I don't really even like to call this a job, it's more of a calling for me, has been expanded. I am now I am now coordinating all the mentors for the regular drug treatment course as well. So I actually picked up about 300 more participants, and I'm getting 3, 4, and 5 a week new participants out of the county jail and getting them into treatment that they need. So my job has expanded quite a bit. But I'll tell you, working with the veterans, that's where my heart lies. If anyone, and I always put this out, would like to become involved with our program, please reach out to me via email. And Mitzi, I know you always send that out. We always could use somebody that wants to become involved. Even if you're not mentoring, I always like to have depth in case someone gets sick or has to move out of the state or the city, and I can't help take care of our veterans. So I won't take up too much more of your time. I could talk about the program all day. It's a passion for me. So I just want to thank all of you for being part of helping our veterans that are struggling, because it's a huge calling. It's needed, not just for the veterans that are struggling with PTSD, TBIs, and addictions, but all of them, to get them reintegrated into society, because they're important parts of our country, and a lot of people don't think about them. They don't think about them unless it's Veterans Day or something like that. And a lot of them made a lot of sacrifices for us all. So, anyways, I appreciate all of you for what you've done for our veterans. It is a wonderful thing, and I respect all of you greatly for that. So thank you very much, and especially you, Mitzi. You're the great facilitator.
Thank you. Appreciate that. It's a great program over there at the Veterans Court, and if you've never attended one of their graduations, it's a very moving experience to see how far these veterans have come and how appreciative they are of the help that the community has given them to get their lives back on track. And there are several veteran court graduates within our midst here with Joining Forces because they wanted to give back to the community and things, and I appreciate that. Paul Bridle, I'm going to call on you. You are with Link, Idaho, and I did not even know about Link until you started working there, and I've actually referred quite a few people over there. Do you want to just tell us a little bit about Link?
Sure. Link is the Living Independence Networking Corporation. It's actually a nonprofit. I don't know why they use the word corporation for that. I am the Director of Personal Assistance Services. We serve over 16 counties across the state, typically basically going all the way from Caldwell to Twin Falls and all the counties that kind of surround that. We serve mostly folks with the under the Medicaid A&D waiver, the aged and disabled waiver, and we are able to basically provide them the services such as housekeeping, cooking, cleaning, dressing, toileting, things of that nature. That way they can live as independently as they can, as possible. It actually saves the state a ton of money, because these individuals are actually qualify for full-time care in a facility, and if a personal assistant is available to just provide those simple services, they can continue to live in their home and more independently. So we have several veterans on our rolls, but always looking to get more. Very important work, I think.
There. Like I said, I didn't know about Link until Paul started working there, and it's been a huge resource. I've sent a lot of people over there, so appreciate everything that you're doing. And I think you had told me that you got the job the same week that the lockdown started, so you've never been to the office. You've worked from home the whole time.
Exactly. On March 16th, I was in my last semester of my graduate program, and I started the job, and people were shaking hands with elbows, like touching elbows and touching feet. And I said, "Here's your laptop computer, and now get out of here. We're closing down the shop." So I haven't had a single day in the office yet. I thought I could escape this desk after 4 years of being back in school, but I can't seem to get away from it. I did want to say one more thing about Link. We actually have a number of assisted technologies in our independent living department, and I've actually utilized them for my son who once broke both of his legs in a dirt biking accident. We borrowed a wheelchair and some wheelchair ramps. I see a number of other assistive technologies been lent out to the community. So keep us in mind, spread the word, because we have a new executive director by the name of Jeremy Maxand, who was part of the SILC, the State Independent Living Council. He was part of the Emergency Planning Committee, and he's got big plans for Link. So looking forward to all the things he has in mind. I'll bring him to the meeting one day.
Okay, that sounds great. The last announcement that I have is the Idaho Veterans Network newspaper is out, the winter edition, and I just picked up about 300 copies of it yesterday. And so if any of your organizations would like those at your office, or if you're going to be somewhere where you can distribute them, please let me know. I'll get them to you. And it's a good way to, again, get information out to the community. Not, we think newspapers, not as many people read newspapers as they used to, but when I was talking to Marnie Bernard, we both agreed that veterans are in waiting rooms a lot at the VA and different places, and these newspapers are a great thing to have. And then they are working on trying to get an electronic version of that to reach even more people. But there's a lot of good stories in there. The cover story is on service dogs and the state and national laws on people using service dogs in the community. So a lot of good information there, and it's 40 pages this time. So if you would like a copy or a bunch of them for your organization, just shoot me an email and we'll get those out to you. So I appreciate everybody joining us this morning, and it was a surprising meeting in many ways, and I appreciate all of you being here.
Congrats, Mitzi.
And we will see you next month.
Congratulations, Mitzi. Well deserved.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mitzi.
Thanks, Mitzi.
Congrats.
You're the best.
Thanks.
Thanks, Mitzi. We will talk with you later.
Okay.
Bye, Mitzi.
Thanks, Mitzi.
Thank you.